Hey folks, how are we doing? It's a glorious winter's day today. I am super stoked to be outside, but even more stoked to be reviewing this Osprey's Asia women's specific multi-day lightweight backpacking pack. This is an awesome piece of kit. Check it out. Oh. Look at those colours. This is Moonshade Grey. It also comes in Equinox Blue. I'm actually reviewing the 38 version of this pack. It also comes as the 48, so a little bit bigger. The 38 retails at £120, the 48 at £130. So quite pricey, but as usual folks, do your research. You can tend to get it cheaper somewhere else. So this is a lightweight pack. It weighs 1.13 kilograms, so definitely not the heaviest out there, but also not the lightest. There are some pros, there are some cons. I've used it out and about a couple of times recently, and there's a few things I love, the few things that I'm really not sure about and I wish were there, but I cannot understand why they're not there because they're trying to keep that weight down. But then sometimes I think I'd rather carry more to have the luxury of what's missing, but we'll get onto that in a minute. So that's what I want to do, is have a look at the features, have a bit of discussion, but then also at the end folks there will be some links so you can have a look at this backpack compared with the Exos, which is the men's specific version, and then also a packing video so you can see how much you can realistically fit in this 38 pack for a multi-day trip. So let's have a look at some of the features. Let's start at the top, if I can unclip, there we go. So we've got a floaty top, which basically means you can remove the top, you can take it off, but we'll have a look at that in a minute. At the absolute top of the floaty top, we've got this big ginormous pocket. It's just a big vast well of space that you can put things in. So maybe like maps, you could fit an OS map in there quite easily. You could fit things like compasses, you could put your head torch in there, some snacks maybe, first aid kit, you could all fit all of that in there. It's a really nice space, I do quite like that. And all of the toggles on this pack are glove friendly, so they're nice and big and easy to use when you've got thick gloves on. If we have a look at the underside of the pack lid, we've got this mesh pocket. This is not stretchy, this is non-stretchy, non-stretchy mesh. If we unzip that, we can see inside here we've got a little toggle for keys, so it's quite a nice key pocket, keep it in there. Obviously it's not an invisible pocket, it's not hidden, so I wouldn't leave your pack lying around with your keys in it, but it's just quite nice to have that. And so the floaty top here, you've got two little clips here and here. You can take that lid off if you really want to save space and weight and you don't need that space. And then inside here, we have this literal strip of fabric that you can then use as a lid. So perhaps if you're using this as a day pack, I don't know, you're a mountain leader and you want that extra space, but you just want to get rid of that weight, then you could take it off and clip that on there. It's quite good really. Also on the inside then, we've got a toggle, which you can untoggle to get in. And this big red strap here, which you can use as a compression strap basically. You pull that nice and tight, it pulls the front to the back, so once this is all fully loaded up, you can make sure everything's nice and tied together and nothing's going to go flying off when you open your pack. And then inside is this massive chasm of space. There is no division for a sleeping bag section, obviously just again to try and save weight, but the only division is this, which is a hydration sleeve. So you could fit like a camelback or a water bladder in there and channel that through to your shoulder. So it is quite nice to have that, but it is a massive sleeve. It goes right the way down to the bottom. So perhaps they should have put some size on that. I don't know, it's worth bearing in mind. Then on the front here, folks, we've got this big stretchy mesh pocket. Now this is not as stretchy as perhaps it looks because you see this piece of fabric here. This is 100 denier nylon. So basically the idea is when you're walking past brambles and rocks, it's not going to snag, it's not going to catch, it's not going to tear. So you've only got this little bit of mesh on the side, so it doesn't actually stretch as much as it looks like perhaps it should. Certainly not as much as my old Exos does. I haven't looked at the new Exos to see whether they have the same design, but I get why they've done it. It's just you can't fit as much in there as you could previously. Also in the sides here we have two more mesh pockets. These are quite ideal for water bottles. They're very tall, so your water bottle's not going to slip out if your backpack falls over. And actually when this is fully loaded, it is quite hard to keep it balanced. It tends to topple forwards. But what I love about this, same with the Exos actually, is they've got side access to the water bottle compartments. So you can have your bottle there, just pull it out, drink it whilst you're walking, put it back in, life's good. Then also in front you can see these millions of little straps. These are 7mm compression straps. There's not actually millions, but there's a few. Again, the idea is once your pack's loaded up, you can pull them nice and tight, keep everything compact, keep it together, and just keep your pack nice and tidy. Nothing's going to snag or catch on anything. You have a single ice axe loop here on the left-hand side. Shove your ice axe in there, keep it there nice and stored, nice and safe. Obviously, if you want quick access, you can keep that behind you, but we don't need to get into that now. And then I'm just going to really quickly put this on. Obviously, it's empty, so we'll fill it up in a minute. and we'll have a look at what it looks like when it's full. It's not very easy with so many hoods and stuff, but I want to show you the hip belt first of all. The hip belt has no hip pockets. Now I find hip pockets extremely useful, just because I keep camera batteries in there, tissues, lip salve, what else? Compass, nice easy access to compass. And if you have a jacket like this one that it hasn't got raised pockets, so you can't really get in and out very easy because the hip belt's in the way, where are you going to put stuff? Some trousers don't even have pockets, so I find that's a loss for me. I miss them. Equally on the sternum strap, we've got a whistle, which it often has, but again on this chest strap, there's no, or shoulder strap, there's no pocket here. Some people like those for little polos or glasses or whatever. It's just, again, another useful pocket. I sometimes put nice shiny rocks that I collect in there, so I'm feeling that loss as well. It's certainly something worth bearing in mind, especially if it's something you're used to. The other thing worth mentioning with this is very thin fabric. There is no real padding there. So whilst in winter I feel I'd have no issue wearing this, in summer, sometimes, you know, you go with a thin t-shirt or even a vest, or sometimes if you're mad, no, not me, nothing. So you've got nothing there to protect you against that friction, that pressure, and once this is full up it can weigh a bit and you've got that pressing down on your hips. So there's no real padding there, but again, I suppose it depends on your body shape and what it is that you're used to using and working with. You can see this loop here, forget my hair out of the way, this one here, and then this one here. This is the Stow On You Go trekking pole attachment that Osprey use. So basically you put your trekking pole in there, clip it to the bottom, and then you can carry on walking. Like, you don't need to stop if you just want to put your trekking pole away for a little bit. It's that kind of terrain where you need to keep getting it out and putting it back. It's really, really handy to have that, actually. But what we're going to do now, folks, is I'll just fill this up so you can see what it looks like when it's full, and then that's it. We'll run through the conclusion and I'll leave you to make your own decision as to whether this is the pack for you. Alrighty, pack is fully loaded up. Got my tent on the bottom, blue quite nicely matching the pack, I feel. It's quite good. So I put everything in here kind of for an overnighter, 2-3 day trek maybe, pushing it. I was quite pleased to cram it in there, actually. It's not too bad. But you can see how it fits on my back. This is the women's medium. There's also the women's small, which is the shorter back. But if you're taller, you may want to look at the Exos because there's small, medium and large for that one. But that'll be in the Exos video, so check that out. This also gives me the opportunity to talk about this gap here. This is the airspace or airspeed, I can't remember the exact term, technology, but basically meshes against my back, then there's a gap, then there's the pack. So the gap allows that ventilation, it allows your perspiration to get whisked away by the wind, keep you cool, keep you dry, keep you ventilated when you're sweating it out on the trail. Probably not on a day like today though. I've also got the trekking pole stowed away here, just so you can see what that looks like. It really is out the way, it's kind of ideal. I do like that. Good armrest as well, potentially, don't know. But that is it, folks. Any questions, drop it in the comments below, send me a message on my Facebook page, drop me an email. Happy to help where I can. Keep your eye open for the packing video where basically I take everything out and put it back in so you can see how much I can fit in this 38 litre pack. Until then, folks, see you on the trail. Thanks for watching.